going on? My name is Miles and I hiked the PCT in 2024. Yeah, so I've been back home for about a month and a half now. It's November. Kind of just taking in the post-trail life and trying to think back on my experience. I wanted to make a video just on my thoughts about the PCT, maybe some advice, a little bit about how I kind of went about it. I'm just getting over COVID, and so my voice might be a little nasally and sore, so I apologize for that. Yeah, it took me 165 days. I started April 15th. I finished, I believe it was September 26, I believe. Yeah, so it took about 5 months, 5.5 months to complete the trail. You know, overall I felt like it was a great experience. It was definitely challenging for me. I was just struggling with the hiking every day. I was getting quite tired, but my friends on the trail, my really good friends that I made, they kept me in the game. They kept my head on right. But yeah, for me, I struggled quite a bit. I find that that's fine, and it was good for me to kind of vocalize those feelings to my trail friends. But yeah, I persevered through the struggles. It wasn't as bad as I'm probably making it seem, but there were quite a few times. I would say there was probably more than 4 or 5 times where I was like, oh man, am I done? Do I really want to be out here walking every day or not? But overall, I had an amazing experience. I met amazing people. The views obviously were incredible. It was challenging, but very rewarding. Another thing that I enjoyed a lot was the community aspect of the PCT. There's just so many people in towns, the trail angels, the trail magic, the far out comments, just this bubble of people. It's like a wave of community that you kind of just follow, this bubble of just like the most amazing people doing just super kind things. Yeah, I really enjoyed the community aspect. The people obviously on the trail hiking, but also, you know, section hikers, people setting up trail magic, the countless trail angels and hitches that we got. It just made it feel like people really care about each other, and that was one amazing thing that I really enjoyed. Great experience overall. Had a very fun time. I definitely needed it, and that's kind of what I wanted in my stage of life. So speaking of stage of life, I did kind of want to talk about how it kind of worked out for me for my living arrangements, my job, and all that. So it was pretty simple for me, but I know there's definitely complications in a lot of people's lives. Well, not complications, but just more responsibilities and stuff to figure out. For me, yeah, I knew I wanted to quit. I asked for a leave of absence from my job, which didn't work out, but I didn't mind that. Left kind of, the door was still open. I ended up quitting my job actually a few months before my start date, just so I can organize moving and do some last minute planning. Enjoyed quitting instead of a leave of absence, because then I didn't really have to think about this date and, oh, I'm gonna have to go back to work. So kind of left the door open. I left on very good terms. Yeah, I think there's still an opportunity right now if I did want to go back, but I'm still processing post-trail life and the experience. And I was also very sick, and I had some health issues. That kind of took up a lot of my brain power for the last month, but feeling a lot better now. Not 100%, but we're getting there. Yeah, so I was renting month to month, and I ended up getting out of my apartment. I didn't sublet it. I just thought, I was thinking about that, but then I thought it might have been kind of a big headache trying to figure that out before going. Thankfully, I was able to move in with my parents back at the house that I grew up in, where I am now. Yeah, I'm very thankful that I'm able to crash here until I figure out what's next. I was gonna move all my stuff to storage, but there was enough room in my dad's house in the basement and my room. It was nice that I didn't have to pay for storage. I can live here until I find a job and figure life out. If I had any advice for future hikers or people thinking about hiking the PCT, I would just say to not worry too much about planning every little detail, especially resupply. A lot of the things you just figure out as you go, especially at the start. Everyone's kind of new and figuring things out, and it's kind of a very fun and exciting time at the start. So I would just say, if you're thinking about it, definitely go for it. Try it out. You know, if it doesn't work out, it doesn't work out. So yeah, I would just say, don't stress too much. Obviously know your gear. Go out for practice hikes, do an overnight or a weekend trip, and just get used to your gear and walking. Before I started, I was so worried about resupply and what little towns and how many days of food and am I gonna need a mail drop or all that, but it was really for nothing, all the prep work that I did. For me and a lot of the people that I hiked with, we just kind of figured it out as we went. Do your section, think about, okay, we're getting into this town, this is what's available, this is how many days we're gonna need, and you just keep doing that back to back to back. I felt like for me, it was good to support some of the local businesses there. Some of the prices are definitely inflated, but you know, these places are very remote. They're honestly just, I feel like they're these kind of small mom and pop shops that are kind of gearing their inventory and their selection to hikers. I didn't really mind paying a bit of a premium for some of those stops. There's a lot of stuff that you need to figure out beforehand, and I know a lot of people have different responsibilities. For me, I was single, I was renting an apartment, I had a good job where I was able to save for a few years, so for me, I guess I'm kind of lucky and privileged in the sense that my life situation didn't have that many hurdles to overcome. I know people have pets or kids and partners, significant others. Not everyone can move in with their parents and get away with not paying storage fees or paying car payments, stuff like that. Yes, there's a lot to think about. For me, I was very fortunate to kind of have things go quite well. If you are thinking of hiking in the future, maybe that will help calm your nerves. Chill out, let things happen, and you'll definitely learn as you go. Definitely know your gear, obviously be safe, have the right equipment, practice with your gear, and feel comfortable with it. But all the other little details, you'll figure out as you go, and I hope you have fun. And I know how exciting it is. For me, I've been dreaming about this for years, really. 2 years before starting, I was really considering it, really starting to save money, putting the pieces of the puzzle together, figuring out my job and my apartment and where am I going to store my stuff and what am I going to do with my car. Definitely slowly think about those things, have a spreadsheet. I had an Excel document on when I was going to quit my job, put in my notice, talk to my manager, when I needed to put in notice at my apartment, canceling my electricity, my internet, some insurance stuff. Just have it all kind of laid out in Excel. I had all these to-do things, like bigger life things, and then gear that I wanted to buy that I needed. Have a little bit of a budget. Just stay kind of organized, and it's kind of fun to go into your Excel document, play around, and you're like, okay, well, I can maybe start doing this. Change this from red to yellow, or you're working on it, or green, and you're like, okay, it's done. I've put in my notice at work. I've put my notice in at my apartment. I told my manager, I told my family or my parents that I'm going to do this. And it's good to have those support roles as well. I'm not sure how much PCT videos I'll be making. I don't think I'll be making gear videos. There's just so many of them out there. Hiker Survey, the Halfway Anywhere, has like a great gear guide, lots of information on there. So I'd recommend researching on there for gear and just in general information about the PCT, and also on Reddit, and there's a lot of Facebook groups. So yeah, there's so much information now. For me, I think I just wanted to make this video on my thoughts and how I felt, and just a bit of advice on if you're gonna hike. But I don't think I'll be making any sort of documentary or other follow-up PCT videos. I'll be kind of sticking to my channel where I do some vlogging and some other random videos. That's just kind of what I enjoy, and for the PCT, I just have so many pictures and so many videos, but there's no context. It's really, like, really personal, I guess, I would say. The PCT definitely changed me in a good way, and I'm still figuring out, I'm still processing how I'm feeling about the whole experience and the adventure. All right, well, I think that's it for now. Thank you so much for watching. I appreciate it, and I hope you found this insightful or useful or whatever, but if not, that's all right. Hope you're doing well and doing the things that you love, and I'll see you on the next video. Peace.